Yeah, this week's been mad. Hay fever's caught me, man. Do you suffer from hay fever?
Not recently, not the last couple of years. I've been fine. Or not as bad, I should say.
Yeah, this is the worst time I've had it. Like this one's like, because you know when you get hay fever, it's like you get a cold, innit? So it's
Yeah.
like, so normally it's just like nasal, like throat, headaches, but this was like a full on cold. Like I feel like I've got a cold, but I know I haven't got one. Do you know what I mean? Like, and so it's just honestly like I went out before to the parents' evening. Literally went out. Just that's the only time I went out today. And this is the reaction from stepping outside for literally for about half an hour. Like, I can't breathe or nothing, man. But yeah, man. What you saying anyway? What you saying? Apart from the stress that you just told me about offline, out of air.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, it's just been one of them weeks, isn't it? Where it just got unexpectedly busy. So I was supposed to be off yesterday. Um, I was supposed to be off, and then just got mad busy. But your hay fever thing sounds mad still.
You know what? You know, I never used to suffer from it as well. It's only like as I got older, and every year I get older, it gets worse. It's mad.
Mm.
I can't put. And the worst thing is, I got to cut the grass again tomorrow. I got to do the garden. You know, because when you cut the garden once, yeah, I don't know what it's like hair, innit? Like I know I haven't got any hair, but I remember having hair. Yeah, when you used to cut your hair, it grows back twice as quick, innit? And the garden's no different. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
remember, I remember all of that. What's it? When I was younger, and I didn't do it that many times. I used to cut the grass.
mm,
But it'd grow back in like 2 weeks, and then
yeah, yeah.
I try like hustle some money at my mum for doing it. But she was like, no, no,
uh,
no, because you only did it like 2 weeks ago.
yeah, yeah. But it's true, you know. Like you know, like them gardeners, like proper, you know, like proper garden. I'm not a proper gardener. I look after the garden every now and again, but I'm not like it's not pristine. But you know them man, they cut their grass like every other day or every 2 days.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like and then
the proper.
you know, like they got the strimmers and they got the what they call the hedge clippers and all them
Hedge
things.
trim,
They got all
yeah,
them.
give it a little shape up.
Yeah, man. Edward Scissorhands and all that. Do you know what I mean? It's mad though. But yeah. Did you see the video of this week of In fact, no. Let me take it back. So I'm gonna. You done something on one of the episodes actually that made me think. I wrote it down. Context, because I talk about
Mm,
things on here and I
mm,
just
mm.
assume people know what I'm talking about, but they don't.
Yeah.
So for context, I think it was last week or the week before. Did you see the Arsenal um, tweet that went kind of viral because I think one of the mascots, the players were coming into the stadium. Bearing in mind this was
It's
before a
before a
big
game, yeah.
game. It was a
Yeah.
big game. I think it was either was it you man? Was it United or Liverpool?
No, it might have been it was at Highbury at Emirates, but it might have been a derby game or something.
It was a big game anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
So them man are focused, yeah. And everyone walks past apparently. No one really high fives or no one says hello to her. Nothing like that. And then it came out, the dad came out and tweeted that they actually did speak to her when they were on the pitch. They took pictures with her, they interacted with her and all that stuff. But then just gone recently, I think only a couple of days ago, there was another one with Leeds coming at the hotel. There was a young boy there and they all kind of walked past him, headphones on, all of that stuff. My question to you is, are we living in a world where people just feel that they are privileged to be spoken to by someone who's probably had 20 cameras in his face already in that day? Like, are we living in that world where people just assume because they're footballers that they have to talk to you, they have to stop, or am I just being cruel? Because I got called a bastard before.
For this or for something else.
No, for this, because
I'm joking.
I'm of the opinion that they don't have to talk to you. They're not obliged to talk to you. I'm sorry. They're there to do a job. You don't ask Kevin in Sainsbury's who's packing out the shelf with Warburton spread to talk to you. So what is the difference? They're working. But am I being harsh? Let me. What do you think?
I don't think you're being harsh. The the Arsenal one is just what we talked about, and Chris Rock's got a whole stand up on Netflix about it. Selective outrage, innit? That's what that
Yep.
is. So and it rings true because of once the dad, I think it was the dad that you're saying came out, because I saw the thing and I was like, that is it's a bit mad where they just come and they just sign and bounce. But I was like, but this is not the whole video. So I have no idea when this is, what the agreement is. Um, the Leeds one is a little bit different. I think people are angry because I think it was after they got slapped, innit? It was one, I know they've been getting slapped regular, but I think it was after they lost 4-1 to somebody. Can't remember who it was.
Was it Newcastle? Something like that.
Yeah, I think it was that. It might have been that game. And people were annoyed, I think, because I don't think they went over to the fans. And then afterwards, they didn't spend no time with the fans as well. And what you were saying, it's kind of true. Like, people do feel entitled, but I always feel like you can just at least just say hello. Like, I think it's different if you're in public. If you're I don't know, in Selfridges or Trafford Centre or something, and there's bare people coming up to you and asking, then yeah, you're in your right, man, to say, just leave me alone, innit? But if you after the game, I think it's courtesy to go and sign, but at the same time, I don't think you're obliged to do it, and I don't think it's helpful. People saying, "Oh, this has happened, that's happened," when there's no context to it really. Like, we don't know what's going on. Like, that person's like auntie could have just died, and they just want to get on the bus and go home. Or, you've heard it before where there's footballers where their partners have had miscarriages and they're finished for like 2 weeks, and they've just been hammered and they just want to go home because they're feeling murdered. So I don't think they should have to do it, to be honest.
I think it's mad because I know there's one club in particular. I won't even bait them up because it's just long. But there's a club that is like stopped their players talking to fans, off the coach, getting on the coach, all of that stuff. We're living in a world, where people will do anything to go viral on TikTok or any kind of thing. And people aren't afraid to use their kids as well. Let's be honest. Like, if you could use your kid as part of the prank, just to get them to entice and engage with the person, then I can see why. So I know one club that does that. We don't know if all the clubs have told their players to stop engaging with fans, especially before games as well. Because, do you know what I mean? Like, they've sometimes as well, they're on a strict schedule. Like, they've got to be in the ground by a particular time. They've got to make sure that they're there. They have their warm up. It's all regimented for them. They've got to be. It's all set for them. So if they stop for one child, let's say there's 10, then they've got to stop for another 9. They can't pass 100%. The other 9. So I think it comes down to that for me personally. That's why I think it is a bit of entitlement where they're like, "Well, you didn't speak to me," and I feel like, what's it? So what? They never spoke to you. They don't. Do you know what I mean? They're humans. They don't have to speak to you. Me personally, I just think I go back to Marcus Rashford. There was one game, and this is when Marcus Rashford was not putting the ball in the back of the net, and everyone was on top of him, just up his arse. And I remember he came out the ground, and he was just walking onto the coach, he was minding his business, and there was a man shouting abuse at him, and the man shit himself because Rashford came over to him and confronted him and said, what's going on?
Yeah.
Now, that's probably another reason why the club have told players don't interact with fans. Because it's all well and good when they want a little hug and little photo, but when they're calling you monkey this or whatever, or being racial whatever, what then?
So no, I agree, because you had the incident with Eric Dyer. Well, I know it's different.
Yeah, got in the crowd, didn't
it? Yeah, and you got things like that, and also coming back, particularly the Arsenal one. We don't know what the arrangement has been. We don't know if they just said to the girl, "Look, the players are, they're going to be getting ready for the match. It's your team, so we want to make sure that they're focused." So they're just going to sign it, and then later on they'll come and have a chat with you, or they'll take picture. We got no idea. And the one with that one that I find is a bit mad is, who's released that video? Because it's obviously not the fans. If someone's released a video or somebody else's kid for clout.
What? Which one? The Leeds one or
the Arsenal one? The Arsenal one.
I think it wasn't not the dad. I think it was the parents. The dad was there because he had to come out. He came out afterwards on Twitter and said,
"Yeah."
Sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say, but I think maybe they've released a video, but they've not captioned it with, "Oh, look at what the Arsenal players have done." Someone else has taken it upon themselves to say, "Oh, this is bad, man."
Yeah, but I think they could have just. I think was it not Arsenal? The Arsenal account or either the
Oh, that's
dad.
it. Yeah, yeah,
So either
yeah.
the Arsenal account or the dad, one of the two posted it originally, and then I think someone's just like recorded it or screen grabbed the video, and then they've gone on and said, "Oh, this is disgusting." That just walk past them, look at them with their headphones on, them multi-millionaires with their headphones on. So what?
But that's what I mean. Like, how can you just take a video of somebody else's kid
And then,
and start running with, like, that's mad. Like, what's it's none of your business. You know what I
but
mean?
this is why I say I don't put my kids on the net like that anymore. I don't. I was going off topic slightly, but I was reading. I can't remember. I need to get the article back up, but it was basically saying like the amount of people like that was it was like 80% or something mad. The highest percentage of people that watch other people's kids or they use other people's kids' pictures on the internet. Like, I need to reread the article properly, but it's nuts. You got to think like when you've got like what they called unprotected or unprivate account, and anyone can just click your name and can basically get access to your life, your world. There's people that post their kids every single day on the internet. Like, so it's not even, and it's just a mad world, isn't it? Like we keep saying on here every week, it's the weird wide web. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I thought
No,
I'd just get your views,
it's
man,
true.
because
Yeah, I just think there's a time and a place in it to do it. I think because of the nature of football and just the way I see football, I think players should go and at least engage with the fans at a certain point. But then there's designated times for that, and I think it's unfair with a lot of clubs, particularly Arsenal, because I know that the Arsenal man are out there engaging. Like I watched I can't remember the All or Nothing version of Arsenal, and they're out there doing that community work. Like they're doing a lot of volunteer.
they get paid to do that though. Because let's
No,
not
no,
forget.
it's true. But even when you see some of the players, you know that they do it because they
Nah, I
it
hear what you're
means
saying,
something to them. Do you know what I mean? So
but
to run that narrative against some of them players as well, I think it's taking the piss a bit.
you,
Even if you're getting paid to do, I get paid to do my job, but doesn't mean I don't care about what I do. Do you know what I mean?
nah, I
I
hear what you're
still like to
saying.
help people. Do you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, of
So
course.
yeah,
But I just think, for me personally, I just think it's mad that like people think because they're a footballer, they have to stop and talk to you. Like you said, we don't know what goes on in these people's lives, man. Do you know what I mean? Like they could have had the maddest day. And the reason I say that is because I don't know if you've seen the Jesse Lingard. I think we spoke about it actually, the Jesse Lingard documentary and all the stuff that he was going through and still having to play football at the time as well. Imagine someone like him who's going through all of those things, and then someone's like, "Oh, but you didn't say hello to my son." Like, do you know how many kids he's probably seen in that one day? And they've asked him for a picture. Can we chat to you for 10 minutes? And he tries to take a shit, and there's like someone waiting outside the door for him. Do you know? No, because it happens.
no, it's that's,
True
happens to
story.
me at work as well.
I was in a restaurant 2 years ago, a year ago, just when Luis Diaz had just signed for Liverpool, and I was out. I think I was out for my birthday, I was having a meal, and he come in, and he was like a couple of tables away, and before he'd even had his drinks, so he hadn't even ordered food or nothing, and the amount of, he must have had at least 6 different tables come over to him just to ask for a picture, and he's just out with one of his mates. You know what I mean? Just out chilling, just wants to have a little quiet night. He's got people just coming over like phones. They don't even ask some of them. They just come over, snap. Yeah, and I'm like, do you know what I'm saying? So imagine when you're doing that. This isn't like 9 o'clock of an evening on a Saturday. You're unwinding, and then man are talking about, oh, but you didn't say hello to my kid before the game. Like, you just took a picture of me without even asking. So I get it. I do get where they're for me. People can call me a bastard all they want. I don't really care. But if it was me, I wouldn't say hello to. If someone said to me, "You didn't say hello to my kid," I'd never say hello to another kid in my life, just out of spite. Just out of spite, because I'm still getting paid. I'm still kicking football, and I'm still going home to my family. So I don't care about someone else's picnic that's not even mine. Why would I care? So yeah, come on. You shouldn't have said nothing, and then we would have been all right. Stupid fool. But yeah, man. What else is going on in the world, man? What else is going on in the world? What else did we want to talk about?
Yeah, do you know what? So was having having a conversation about card, because card games and like I can't remember what they call them, like not the trading cards, but the little cards you get, you battle people, and they're quite, you get like the games where it's quite tactical and you're quite immersed, and not like your old school board games, but
What do you mean?
it's quite a thing, isn't it? Like oh, what are they called?
I think I know what you mean a bit, like where if like not like Pokemons, I don't mean them, but like where the
But yeah,
scoring, like if someone's got a higher thing or whatever,
yeah.
you mean like that?
Like that,
Okay.
those kind of things. So anyway, it came up in context at work, and it was making me think about how like much games are developed, but also it was making me think about board games when we used to play. Because I feel like it was a bigger thing. Like not everybody had a console, or nowadays everyone's got a console in their room or two or three in the yard. And it was making me think about the board games that I used to like playing. So I was gonna ask you, off the top of your heads, not your favorite, but some of the ones that you enjoyed playing, if any, because you might turn around and say I hate them all. It caused too much arguments.
No, they used to cause arguments, but only because I used to like dash like the Monopoly board over if I was losing or something. But no, Monopoly, Scrabble, and Scrabble were definitely the big hitters at Christmas. We had like Cluedo as well. I loved Cluedo. I remember we had Blockbusters, but it was mad hard. And
I remember. I had that as well.
I swear, I'm sure it was Blockbusters, and then I think we had to downgrade to the Blockbusters Junior because these times I think I was only like, I think I was young, man. I must have been 7 or 8, man. So them mad questions I were asking in this the Bob Holness one, the Blockbusters there, that was tough, man. But no, I used to love board games, man. Back in the day, like I think you're right though. I think now everyone's got iPads and flipping computers here, there, and everywhere. So no one really. I don't know actually. Christmas, I see a lot of people on Instagram or whatever. They always have their traditional Monopoly day or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But I think even sometimes, maybe because I'm older now, but I used to always play throughout the year. Like sometimes you just pull out Monopoly and play like on a Saturday night. Do you know what I mean? But I'm trying to think of another one, man. I had like the usual things like Jenga, Kaplunk, but I don't really call them board games. Do you know what I'm saying? They're more like Kaplunk, man.
Yeah, I know the marbles,
yeah, man.
and the
it used to piss me off though. It used to take bare long to set up. Do you remember? You used to have to put the little things.
Yeah. You'd put all the straws in, you get them in the right holes, then put the marbles.
The game wouldn't take that long because you're just pulling out the straws.
Maybe the way you played it.
I'm sure that's how you play it. No, that's what you do.
Yeah. But I remember the way that my mum used to play it. She used to do certain things because I think couldn't you rotate the sphere or whatever it was? Mum would be there like.
Nah, your mum was cheating about rotating. What are you talking about? Because you think about it, if you rotate it, the marbles drop in it.
No, she'd like turn the thing, the thing on the top. Oh, you have to because when the marbles fall, there's the little door in it, the little hole that they come out. So I think you did have to turn it so that you knew whose ones.
You might be right.
But no, she'd be like looking. Then we get mad competitive because she'd be like, "Oh, if you touch the straw, you got to pull the straw."
Yeah.
So like we pulling it, and then you pull it, and you see like one little marble drop. So they're thinking, "Oh, how can I damage limitations?" And you pull it, and it'd be a mess.
Kaplunk was the one for me, man. But no, Monopoly's always going to be. I think even I can't wait to start playing that with like my kids. Do you get what I'm saying? Because they're still on like Hungry Hippos and
the noisy
operations.
Ones, Guess Who and
operations Buckaroo. They've got that. Connect 4, they've got that. So I'm still
Connect 4.
Yeah, I still want to get them, especially like my son. I want to get him involved into all of them things because, do you know what I mean? Like more so, like the reason I want him to play Connect 4, if I'm honest, is because I want him to play chess. I want him to actually play chess. You know what I'm saying? And I thought, let me just start him off with something easy, where you got to think a little bit. Because as much as people don't think you do, you have to think about Connect 4. You can't just dash the thing down and hope for the best. You got to be strategic, innit? Yeah, I know where to start off in Connect 4, man. But no, what about you? What's your kind of like history of board gaming, man? Where do you rank certain things?
Yeah, I had a lot of the junior ones. I had junior Scrabble, which was good. Then spelling like cat and pot, all them thing- all them loser words that would get you nowhere in the real Scrabble.
I was getting 4 words, but
Um,
you've been sat there thinking about it for like 20 minutes, yeah, and you come out with like 3 points. Pissed off.
yeah, that was calm. Do you know what's a banging game? So most people know it as Ludo, but frustration, that version. Do you know the one where you
Yeah,
push the
yeah,
thing in the
yeah.
middle and it pops the
Is that where you
dice?
gotta go it round and you gotta go up? Is
Ah,
that one where you gotta go round and you go up?
no, you go around like Ludo. So you go around the
But then,
board and then, oh yeah,
then
yeah, then
you
home.
go
Yeah,
up the
yeah, yeah.
middle,
So I know what you mean.
and then
Yeah.
you got like 5 little things where you gotta get them all round and then up, haven't you? I think.
Yeah, yeah,
Is that
yeah,
that one?
yeah. Yeah, so that one. But the thing what I realized with my mum, because my mum was sick, yeah. Like obviously I love my mum in it. And
Man,
but
put the
she'd make all
disclaimer
the
in there
games.
first, didn't it?
No, no, I had to. She'd make all the games competitive, yeah. So like in frustration, we'd have a thing where if you had more than one person out, if you had two pieces in the same thing, it would block, but it only blocked the opposition players. So it'd be mad where she'd have all of them out and she'd have two in the same spot. And that you wouldn't be able to get through and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
couldn't kill the thing. And then she'd be there like making fun of you. So obviously you do it back. So yeah, and obviously it's funny because anyone I talk to, they're like, "Oh, you're so competitive," and I'm like, "Am I? Like I'm not really."
Nah,
But then I
you are,
remember
man.
them board games. So to frustration, yeah, Hungry Hippos was sick. We had a game called Did you have Perfection?
I think so.
It's the one where you have a timer of like maybe a minute, and you've got to put all the shapes properly into. So you have like about 20 shapes, and you've got to put them all into this like box with
Nah, I
all
never
the
had that. I've
shapes.
heard of it though, but I didn't
And
have it.
then yes, listen, cause it's stressful. So you're putting them in, but you're conscious that you've got a certain amount of time to put the shapes in, and you're doing it, and some shapes are a bit similar. And if you don't do it in the time, it pops up, and
Oh nah, nah.
it like shits all the pieces
No,
out.
I never had that. My mum would have. I know my mum would never have brought me that, so I know I definitely didn't have that. Just the way you just described that. If I said that to my mum, she'd go, "No, you're not having
Yeah,
that. What are you talking about? You're
yeah,
not
that
mashing up
was
my ass.
stress.
Not mashing up that
That was
ass with the
stress.
ting. No, you're not having that."
So yeah, that one. But yeah, Monopoly was good. What I found with Monopoly is it was a game where you could not talk to someone for days
Yeah, that's what I'm.
because
That's why.
of how that
Did
game.
you not hear what I said when we started the conversation? I said I
Yeah,
used
yeah,
to
I
kick
did.
the mat. Yeah,
It's a kick
the
off.
hotels, the little houses just go flying because like that was when you just said then about being competitive. That was the game for me. Like I had to win that game. I had to be on top. I still do now. If I know I'm losing, we ain't stopping the game until we can't because I'm winning. But yeah, Monopoly was the one. Um, I feel like there's a board game that we're proper missing here that people are gonna go, right, you might never play that, but I can't remember. But Monopoly for me was because everyone goes for Mayfair Park Lane, innit?
Yeah, like donuts.
I mean, you do it if you want, but you gotta have the money to invest. Is otherwise it's pointless. Because if you just go for that and then you build it up, and I got a question for you in a minute actually about Monopoly, because this caused an argument one year here when I moved to Liverpool. But yeah, the key thing is not always to buy Mayfair and Park Lane, but to buy the greens, so Bond Street, Regent Street, and Oxford Road, then the yellows and the reds. They're probably more profitable than man's giving away the secrets, the Monopoly secrets. But
No, it's just go on YouTube. You'll find them in it.
oh,
So
they on there. I don't need that. But you hear what I'm saying, don't it? If you get them and then
yeah.
maybe add like an Old Kent Road and I can't remember what the other brown one is. Is it?
Well, hold up. Didn't you have a Birmingham one?
Yeah, but I never got that. I can't. Nah, I
Yeah,
never got it. We were gonna get it one year, but I just like the old school one. I've just always, even
yeah.
I think someone brought me a Chelsea edition. And I was like, I can't play this. It's not. I want me.
Oh, with players
Yeah, I didn't
like
even open it
legends.
because I'll be honest, I
Yeah.
didn't even open it. I don't hope whoever brought me that it's there. I've still got it.
Memorabilia.
Yeah, it's literally. I'm playing. I need the traditional, proper one with all the stuff and everything else. Even because there's one where you can get like a card reader. Like the more modern day versions got like a card
Yeah,
reader.
yeah, I've seen that one.
Nah, man, I want the
Nah,
old.
nah,
I
nah,
want
nah.
paper.
I wanna
I
be
want
making it
cash money.
rain.
Yeah, I want the
Yeah.
cash money, man. But this is why I got to ask questions when they come in my head because it's gone. But it's gone. Remember I said last week I got to ask you a question because I'm.
You were asking at the
Yeah,
time.
yeah. But it'll come back to me.
No, it's true. It's true what you're saying though, because I think what I used to do, because my mom maybe like we started playing when we were young, and then I used to play with this. This is how I got ahead of my time, yeah. But why I just hated losing because I'd always be playing with people that were older. So obviously,
Yeah, yeah. Same.
like, yeah, do you know what I mean? So I used to play with, yeah, like one of the boys I used to play. So maybe I would be about 10, but he'd be about 13, 14. So obviously at that age, your mind is a bit more set. So I'd go out and yeah, I'd be buying like Old Kent Road and Angel Islington and Euston Road and Pentonville, all them reds and blues. But obviously I'd have no P. And then a brethren would buy like all the oranges and the reds and the
Yeah,
greens
yeah.
and the yellows. I'd be finished. Used to call it used to call, used to call it Creek Street. He'd come down. I would say, listen, you're gonna come down to Dawson's Creek here, pay me my monies. Oh man.
Yeah.
But yeah, he used to finish me. But then I learned it's the train stations, isn't it? That's where it's at. You get
Nah,
all
the
the
train
train
stations.
stations. Yeah, trust me.
Nah, nah,
Especially
nah,
when
nah,
there's more
nah,
than
nah,
two
nah,
people
nah, nah,
playing.
nah,
It's the train
nah,
stations.
nah, man.
They get you to pee.
Nah, man.
You don't think?
Nah, man. How does that work?
Because if you can get all the train stations, I think it's in the traditional one. It's about I think it's 250 a pop or 200,
So,
but people always land on them because there's one obviously on every street.
nah, man. Yeah, but then they get nah, man. You need the green, the red, and the yellow, and that's it. And then
You gotta get all. Oh, actually, no, go on, go on,
and
go
then I
on.
was gonna
I've
say,
got a
and
question, but
you
I'll remember it.
you do need to get another one on the other side of the board. So you need like either the Angel Islington, that kind of the blues, or the bow, the orange, one of the orange, or Pall Mall. Sorry, they're good as well. Pall Mall. And what's the other one? The pink one.
Like
Something
Northumberland and
Northumberland Avenue, and then you got. Is there three of them?
White. Is it Whitechapel?
I thought that
No,
was
not
a blue one.
Whitechapel.
You might be right, actually. You might be
I
right.
can't.
Yeah,
No, I
but
can't. I can't remember. I can't remember.
we probably.
But no,
Oh, sorry, because I'm gonna let you forget your question. Go on.
no. I've got another question that's come. But no, go for it.
I
Go
was
for it.
gonna say, we probably played Monopoly one Christmas together already. When we were kids, and we just probably don't really remember too tough. There would have been a time.
That's probably trauma, isn't it?
Yeah, there would have been a time at some point. If we weren't playing, we were witnessing some Monopoly history going down somewhere at some point. Because that thing was, whenever someone visited, that was normally the thing that would come out at some point.
Yeah,
Do you get me?
you'd have to, and then you'd have it where you're playing until like 5 in the morning.
Yeah, that's
You
what
know
I'm.
what? Like, bare people are getting tired. One person wants to go to bed, but everyone else is like, no, no, I'm gonna get you back. I'm
Yeah,
gonna get
yeah.
you back for that hotel and all of that.
I'm gonna write my question
But
down because I've just remembered it. But go on.
you remember that? So I was gonna ask if you do the free parking thing because I know I played with some people that don't really like it. So like all the money from, I think it's all the money from the taxes, all the chance and community chest cards, like any bills you have to pay, like to the bank, just put it in the middle.
Yeah, yeah.
And then if you land on free pot, because I know some people they just play it where it just means that you get the little cards, and then if you, oh no, is that the new one? No, I think you get a card, and then if you land on someone's property, you don't have to pay.
Huh?
But they never used to do it with the extra money. You don't know that one.
You see, this is why I just wrote this down. No. Let me hold on. Let me just because this is why I wrote my question down. So you're saying so I need to get the board up. Let me get the board up because I can't. I'm saying that like I haven't got Monopoly literally sat across the room from me, like it's literally in the same room. But um,
Yeah, so at the end of the oranges, next to I think it's Vine Street and before Strand, you got the little thing in the corner. One's jail, one to go to jail, one to go, and then the other one is free parking with a little car.
Hold on a second. Where's a little car? Ah, okay, yeah. So
top right corner, yeah.
So
that thing.
what we used to do is, say for instance, I think you just explained this actually, but say you get a community chest and you got to pay such and such, and the money has to go in the middle. Sorry, yeah. So when you hit on that free parking, you take all the money out the middle. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, you do that. So we did that.
So what was the card you're on about? What card stops you from doing that?
So I can't remember if it's in a new.
That must be the new version, because I would have kicked the board flying if I see someone not take the money. Like, so hold on, what does a card do? That's what I'm confused about. So the card,
So what it means is, if you go on free parking, the next time you land on someone else's property, you don't have to pay. But only once, and only one person can have the free parking card at a time. So if you land on free parking and you've got the card but you ain't used it, and someone else lands on it,
is there a free parking card though?
That's what I can't remember, but I feel like there
not
is.
In my pack, there's not. 100% there's not, because now that's why I got thrown off. So on that free parking, but now you've just said that actually makes sense about the free parking.
Yeah,
but I just assumed the free parking
that's originally
square,
what it was for.
So that square free parking for me is just to park there for free. So do you get what I'm saying? That's how we used to play. We used to just, but then when you land on there, you used to take the money out the middle.
You just get the peas, yeah. That's so the lottery.
But the card thing, that must be the newer version, because
maybe it is.
But it makes sense. It makes sense as well, like what you're saying. If it's, do you know what I'm saying? But what I was gonna ask you is, because there's some people that don't. So I can't remember it now, like how it works up here. But in Liverpool, like, and obviously I'm not saying just Liverpool, so you know, chat shoot man down. But disclaimers and that tonight, disclaimers. But I'm sure, like, the way that, so you know, when you buy like the property. So say you land on Park Lane, you want to buy it. Do you have to go around once and then you can buy a house, or do you just say, I'm buying Park Lane and I want to buy a house straight away?
This is how arguments start.
This is what I'm saying.
Are you talking about when you have everybody has to go around the board once before you can buy it, or you buy it but then you can't put a house on it? You have to go around again. That one, and then you can. The second one.
Yeah.
I've never played it like that. Specific. I've played bare weird versions, but not, and that is a weird way to play it. But yeah, I see what I'm saying, isn't it? Done that before. Yeah. So is that what's going on in your household? Yeah.
Listen, it nearly stopped the whole game. Do you know, like, because I'm sitting there thinking, but I've already been around once. I've already been around the whole board once. So as soon as I've done that, I don't have to go around again to then buy a house that I'm already buying the land on. I've bought the land, so I'm putting a house on it. No, you can't do that. You got to go around again.
So I've got a question about that, and then I've got something that follows on from that, from all the versions I played. When that happened, was that expressed to you at the beginning of the game, or was it at the point where you're about to?
I'm going to say something.
That's what caused the arguments.
I'm going to say something mad as well. I was playing with a woman, right? And they love to move the goals. They love to move the goalposts. I'm sorry. They love to move the goalposts. I'm telling you.
I don't get involved. I ain't get involved.
They love to move the goalposts, yeah. And then, do you know what the worst thing is? You play them the next time, and they go, "Oh no, they're not the rules." And you're like, "But they were the rules last time." So I don't know, but if I'm being honest, I think it does make sense around the free parking thing. And I think there's another thing about hotels as well. I can't remember. We've had bare arguments about Monopoly, like, to the point where I don't think we even played it this year. I don't think we even got it out this year, because it's just
left it.
Yeah, it was just, Scrabble's a nice one when you're like my age. I mean, yeah, and even then we argue. I can't remember why. Yeah, we have to get the rules out. But that's one thing now as well, especially with Monopoly as well. I always have to be the banker in it, and that causes arguments as well then. But I like to be a banker.
You thief the money?
No. I mean, I used to back in the day. I'm not going to lie.
I said, oh, just found a 500. Yeah, it was under the board.
Do you know what I used to do? I used to, You know, when I was giving myself like the 200 for going round, that's like double 100, and then I take 3.
Are you a bad guy?
I used to take 3 in it. So then I think my mum used to cotton on, because by the time like we weren't even playing that long, and there'd be no hundreds left, because I'd take all the hundreds, because obviously there's 3 of us playing, and then I'd always like give everyone their two, and then I'd take 1, 2.
Let's give it from the bank.
And then I'd make sure I always grab 2. Can't take 3, just 2. So you take £300 every time, and it always works. And I always used to win. But then I stopped doing that, because obviously when I moved up here, I was in the bank all the time, but I still won. But you have to do these things sometimes. You have to do that. But do you know what I was going to ask you as well?
No. Wait. Before you ask me, just a quick one on that. So my sister is the you in obviously our part of the family. Yeah. So she's the worst one. So she'll always try to be the banker, and we always catch her out. Because whenever I need to go get a drink or go toilet, she'll stand up. There's like bare 500s under her foot, or it's like, oh, where's that 100 dropping out from? That's her, like the maddest things. And then she'll try to say that it's always there, like it's bait that she took the money. But yeah, but anyway, yeah. So what was your question?
I was going to ask you, because another thing that causes arguments is cards, like card games. So like blackjack. Gin rummy. Do you know how to play all them?
I haven't played gin rummy for years, but blackjack. There's two things that's always contentious. The first one, when I'm playing, usually people I ain't played before, or friends, is all the rules. So it's funny, the thing is, I played so much blackjack from so young. I can tell how good someone is by the way that they start talking about the rules. So when they say like, yeah, jacks on 2s, queens a slut, like, do you know what I mean? And it's like, oh, okay, like I can see that you've maneuvered in it. But that's always the issue. That, and also I start getting arrogant as well when I win. So I start doing things like, if you finish on an ace, I just put a card next to the deck and I just get someone else to put it on. I'm just rude.
Them Las Vegas moves.
Yeah. I just tap the card. I'll just like stick it to my forehead and flick it off. I don't rap.
Oh yeah, Man City's winning. We needed that,
but yeah. What about you? What's your blackjack history?
Do you know what? It's a weird one, because I think, again, like the rules are slightly different up north. I think Southerners know how to play it properly, and then you come up north and then things are just different. But yeah, I think it's one of them that I went through a phase of playing blackjack a lot, and then I stopped playing, and then I forgot. So even now I'm thinking, am I getting the two mixed up actually? So is that one where you put down at 8? No, that's not blackjack. I'm talking about rummy. rummy. Yeah.
But blackjack's the one with
the
blackjack
2 cards.
Pick up 5, 2s pick up 2. You start with 7 cards, and you're just trying to get rid of your cards as quick as possible.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that causes arguments. Same thing. Better off just sticking to pairs. Just playing pairs or something. Snap. Play snap.
I said pairs.
Pairs and snap, man. Pairs and snap.
Yeah, snap's a good one actually. Particularly if it's quite active, and it's often recommended for depression because it's very simple, but also having to concentrate and the movement and everything as well. But no, I like snap, particularly if someone's annoyed me when I play card games. Box off their hand, cause snap.
I used to do that. No, I used to do that. I used to make sure that let them know in it. Can't take man for
100. Make them know you're around. Make them think twice.
You can't ramp around here, man. But I do. Do you know what? I think more so because I'm always busy at the weekends now, innit, or with the kids and that. So, but yeah, like every now and again we'll pull out like Scrabble, pour a little glass of red, sophisticated Scrabble now. Do you know what I mean? And just enjoy that. But and I think with things like Monopoly or that frustration game, did you ever have Pictionary actually? Sorry, just go on. Do you ever have Pictionary?
I can't even really talk about Pictionary because I can't draw in it. Like my draw, like
But that's the
there's
whole
people
point,
that
though.
can't draw. Nah, but then there's me.
Man said, then there's me.
I'm in a stratosphere. Yeah, yeah. It's like you got teams that get relegated from the Prem, and then you've got Derby having the worst season ever. I'm the
Listen,
Derby. Like
we ain't
it's a
talking no
car crash.
relegation talk tonight, please. Let's lay off the football. Yeah, I know what you're
Hey,
trying
I
to
didn't.
do.
I
I
said
know.
Derby. I said
I
Derby.
know what you're trying to do, man.
No,
It's
no,
not
but
happening.
yeah, I can't. Yeah, it's mad, and it's hard because I'm just in a team and I'm trying to draw things, and then you can't even draw the thing that you want to draw. So you're having to draw like bare little pictures to make up the words or the phrase. But what about you? Are you well versed in the Pictionary
Nah,
genre
man.
of gaming?
You not seen my drawing before?
No, but
Bad, you
I'm
know.
thinking now yeah.
Like, I can't draw for, and I cannot draw like at all. So
Is that why you got into the music? Yeah,
listen.
is
Even
drawing what your creative outlet?
nah, it was not at all, man. I wasn't that bad, but there was other people around me, 100% that could draw. Like even now, they can draw. They're artists. Whereas like me, like I can just about draw. Like if someone said to me now, can you draw? I don't know what you can see in front of you. You wouldn't tell that it's what's in front of me. It's that bad. Like I can't draw, man. But yeah, it's crazy. I need to pick up a new skill. Actually, I need to pick up a new skill. Um, I was watching this mad thing. Actually, speaking of drawing, one of them they're like an aspiring artist. And they lived in London, but they're from Manchester. It's called Evicted. This program on BBC Three or like the iPlayer.
Okay, okay.
But it was mad how many people go to like, and we spoke about this on here, but it's mad how many people go to like uni or they're looking to try and inspire to be something. Like there's one who done like music engineering, sound engineering as well, but he was in Bristol or somewhere like that. But like the
Mm.
program's basically consisting of young people. We have to say they're young now. We're not even young anymore. We're like, you know what I mean, so the 20-year-olds, the postgrads, or whatever you call them now, the newly out of whatever uni, um, all of them trying to live in like Bristol or Birmingham or London, and the price of their rent is mental. Like this one guy is just trying to be an artist, he's trying to get himself off the ground. Do you know what I mean? He's put himself through uni, and his rent's gone up by like from like 650 to like 111, something stupid. It's like hiked up. So it's just sad, man. Like people who got talents, you know what I mean? They got skill, and they can't even like make ends meet. They're having to beg, borrow, steal, or whatever, just to make it through the week. But they've got like a really good talent. Mad. Good
Yeah,
program, though.
it's a hard one. No, it sounds decent. You know me anyway. When obviously I get to a place that's got BBC, I have to give it a watch. But on a serious note, with that, it's crazy because you're getting less and less people able to follow their dream
Yeah, yeah,
because of finances. I know people might say, "Oh, it's a bit easier because you've got social media and TikTok and all of that stuff." But it's a shame because it's a real hard decision to decide whether to pursue your dream or not. And I say it's not like the olden days because obviously I have olden days now on it, but whereas before you think I could drop out for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, do a thing, and then if it don't work, I can try and get a job in, and no, with no disrespect, but try and Pizza Hut or
yeah, yeah.
Sainsbury's or Argos or something. I can do that for a bit and then dip back out. Whereas now you can't even afford to do those things, let alone try and do something that you really care about, and then where are you in it? Like you don't even have time to do it even as a hobby. So it's sad.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, man. It is crazy, and you're right. I think a lot of the time as well, people they tend to switch their profession or their preferred profession they want to try and do, it becomes a hobby. Then they don't even get time to do that, It's mad because I was speaking to like a couple of photographers that were trying to be professional photographers, and now it's just a hobby to them. They've had to pick up, um, like they've had to shut down or wind down their business technically, even though it didn't really get off the ground. And then they've had to go out and get a job that's just a regular job for them, just because they haven't got any other ways of trying to pursue their dream. Yeah, it's not good, man. Not at all. Not at all.
Do you think it's worthwhile? It's kind of a personal question, but also generally, do you think it's worthwhile trying to pursue your dream, almost like fuck the consequences, or do you think maybe I'm thinking about if you had a friend who you thought was talented, but they were trying they were going into a field that was just mad saturated, like music's a good one, for example. Do you think it's still in these days worthwhile trying to pursue that dream, or do you think we're in times now where it's like, listen, you just need to be practical and just get a job that you know is going to pay?
It depends what you want out of it. I think if you want to be the one that's like an Adele and she's selling millions and selling out stadiums, then you gotta have a mad talent and something that is different to what's out there. Because there's 25 Adeles that I can pull up now and show you, and they're probably just as good as Adele. So I think if you've got something that's different, then you're all right. Or if you've got like a little niche market that, or something that you can just is different, then you're all right. If you just want to be in the music because you love music, like Mango, the grime MC, he's just in music because you can tell he just loves grime music. He just loves being an MC. He just wants to go to this event, spit his bars, go to that one, do the same, and go home. He doesn't care about like number ones and fame and all the rest of it. He just wants to. So I think it depends what you want out of it. If you does it, so both is correct, I suppose. You can want to follow your dream and be Adele, or you can just be Mango and be happy and just, do you know what I mean? Enjoy life. So I think the answer to that is yes, but it also depends. You've got to have a realistic goal that you're trying to achieve. Don't be thinking you're Mango and then you're going to be living like Jay-Z in 5 years, because the road from A to Z is not that quick, and it's complicated in music. But yeah, I'd push anyone to follow the dream. Why not? You only live once, and I suppose the only thing I would say to someone, the younger me, is make sure you've got loads of things you can fall back on. Because if your dream don't work, you need something. You need something. Because if you haven't got something, you got to do the whole legwork of getting something, a skill, a trade, later on in life, man. And that's the hardest thing if you're having to work and do that at the same time as well. What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I think I'd like to think that I'd always encourage someone to follow their dream, even if they were average. Even if they're not going to be elite or whatever. And it's only, I don't know, I say only, I think it's still a big achievement, but let's say they're going to play at pubs, and bars, just the odd bar, and that's the peak. I'd like to think that I'd still encourage someone to just go and do that and be happy. I think I'll just be mindful of anything else that's going on in their lives. Obviously, if I don't know, you come to me and say, "Yeah, do you know what? I'm gonna be a country like rock singer or something like that," and I know you can't sing. And I'm thinking, don't know, cause like you got kids and it's a bit mad,
What,
but
not even with
I
AI?
still like to think I'd
Just sprinkle a bit of AI on top of it.
be auto
Yeah,
tune.
little auto tune AI the country music, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, but I'd like to think that anyone I think particularly anyone who's young anyway, but if they've got a dream, even if they're not going to be the best at it, that they can still go and pursue it.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people that I've spoken to, where they try to pursue something, it's not really worked, but they're glad they did it. It's an experience in itself. Some people don't get anywhere close to it, but they can say that they've done it, and it's a personal achievement. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
like to think that I would, but yeah, obviously it depends on if things are going to be a bit mad for them. Then I might just say, listen, do that next year. Go stack some peas first.
That's the key thing, man. In this day and age, you gotta have the financial backing of yourself, not other people to back you. You gotta back yourself financially, and that's the best way. Going back to the music thing now, that's the best way to do it. Self fund yourself. That's what Manga does. Manga's not got no label, nothing like that, and he's probably got a better, I was gonna say a better audience. I don't mean that, but a better following than some of the people that are under a label and have PR marketing teams looking after them and all that stuff. He's probably got a better following. Like same with JME, them man haven't got labels and all that. So, they fund themselves and all that. It's hard work getting off the ground. It's all in good someone saying, oh, go and get yourself 20K so you can put yourself on and do whatever and put all your events on. But you start off small, do the Damon Dash. I like to call it the Damon Dash model, where he says like you've got like a t-shirt for $50, you sell that for 100, you buy 2 more and do that and you start growing. That's just it. That's how you do it, man. Just before we wrap up, I wanted to ask your opinion dead quick on the World Cup, the next World Cup. Do you know where it is?
Isn't it Mexico and US now?
Correct. What do you think happened today again? I'm not smiling because this happened, by the way. I'm just asking you a question.
You know what? The last thing I read in the news was the NHS pay rise, because obviously you had to keep an eye on that.
And said
speak around here, but no, I haven't seen still.
So there was a mass shooting again. I think in Colorado.
I actually guessed.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was in Colorado or somewhere like that. And Atlanta, and they basically shut up a hospital. So I think,
oh wow,
yeah. So my reason for asking all that to say this is, I wonder if there's going to be outrage as much as there was about the Qatar World Cup, when there's millions of people going to be watching this World Cup. There's hundreds of people dying every year in America, mass shootings. I wonder if anyone's going to say anything. Because it'd be interesting, won't it, if anyone speaks up about it. Will they? No, they won't. But they should. If your morals are right as they were for Qatar, then America should be the same, no?
No, it's facts. I mean, I feel like there'll be a couple of articles, probably things like The Athletic and probably BBC and maybe The Guardian and stuff like that. But I don't think people can be bothered anymore, especially because the gun issue is such a divisive issue, and even with and I might be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure they changed an abortion law not that long ago as well. A lot of states.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not gonna go on record and say exactly what it was, but it was a very extreme change, regardless of whatever your thoughts are on abortion. It was a big change that has impacted a lot of people without much consultation, from what I gather. So, again, I'm thinking about people are up in arms about women's rights in Qatar and things like that.
Yeah.
Are these same people going to be talking, even if whether you agree with abortion or not, about women's rights? Because this is women's rights from my perspective, or anyone that can give birth to a child. Are we going to be talking about this? Probably not. Not going to be protests. People ain't going to. I mean, no one boycotted Qatar anyway. But
no, but the noise that was around it, and people wearing armbands and stuff and all that. I don't want to call it nonsense, but you know what I'm saying, like all that kind of noise that was around the World Cup. Do you know what I mean? Everyone was being hypocritical, sitting in the same stadiums they were talking about that no one should be in. They were in there talking about it. I want to see if they do that for America, because their murder rate must be through the roof. I can't remember how many mass shootings they've had so far this year, and we're not even halfway through the year yet. So I want to see that same energy. I don't want to see it, but we have to see it, because people are getting onto these Qataris for something. And it all came down to money, really, when we talk about it. But different topic for a different day, man. Different topic for a different day.
No, I'm 100%. But yeah, we'll see. But when's that? Say 3 years.
The World Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 3 years, man. We gotta see what Chelsea's saying in them 3 years, man. I might be still watching my team in the Vanarama League, whatever it's called. By then, you know what I'm saying? Free fall, man. Crazy. I'm not even gonna talk
Going
Chelsea, man.
to
I can't.
going to Harrogate and Sutton and
Bromley
Aldershot.
and all that. In fact, Bromley probably probably playing League One by then. Championship thing. Yeah. So I can't even talk football because I can't. I'm hurt, man. That game last night hurt me. And anyone who's into football, if you follow Chelsea or just the Premier League, you'll know how bad Chelsea season's been this year. So I can't even talk. I can't even talk about the game. I spoke about it on my channel earlier. So
You're done on that.
yeah, I had to do that though. I have to get them out. They're like therapy sessions, cause honestly, I have to get them out. But what's the episode? Is this 8? Episode 8, man.
I'm gonna go for 8. Nice round number.
8, man. It's a wrap. Thank you very much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the links in the description as well, and make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend, because the subs are not going up on YouTube. So make sure I know there's people watching the videos. Make sure you hit the notification and the subscribe button if you can, please. Thank you very much. We'll be back next week with another episode.